Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be setting up my bullet journal for 2024 and I'm going for a different size notebook for 2024. This is the traveler size from Notebook Therapy from the Soft Feather collection. The first step in this setup is to write down my name, and I'm just doing a very basic cursive writing in the space here with a bit of sparkles for decoration. I skipped the first awkward page that doesn't open up completely and started on the next page, which is going to be a combination of a grid spacing guide, a key page, and a cover page. I am making a grid spacing guide this time because it's the first time I've ever used this traveler size, so having the different divisions here will be very helpful. I started off with numbering the spaces on the top and along the sides of the page and then moved on to the decorations before I drew in all the divisions. The theme for this initial setup is inspired by this notebook itself. I am using two different colors of Tombow dual brush pens, a purple one and another purple one, but with a very blue undertone, and I'm using them to draw these blobs of colors. This time I'm using the traveler size, which I've never used for a bullet journal before. I've been using a pocket bullet journal alongside my big A5 one, and I just love how easy it is for me to take around, especially when I go to uni. It is just so light and small. However, I don't think I can get around with just an A6 notebook for the entire year. Well, maybe I can, but there will be no spaces for decorations, and I really like making art in my bullet journal. So I've decided to go for a size that is smaller than an A5 but still have spaces for decorations, which is this traveler size here by Notebook Therapy. After all the blocks of colors are done, I went back to add in all the divisions along the side and on the top as well. I am only adding a few, so we only have halves, thirds, and fourths. I might also go back to add in dividing into fifths for the vertical direction as well. After the lines are drawn in, I moved on to writing in the key title because this is going to be a combination of a key and grid spacing page. I know my bullet journal keys, but I didn't know what else to put in this space, so this is more of a decoration. And I think it might be interesting for you guys to see my keys as well. It is very similar to the original keys from Mr. Ryder Carroll, but with a slight variation. This is a good time to mention that if you are new to bullet journaling or this is your first time starting a bullet journal, you don't have to use the same keys and format as everybody else or anyone at all. Your keys can be something you can remember and something that makes sense to you. After my keys are written in, I'm moving on to the other decorations on the page. As I've mentioned before, this theme is very inspired by the notebook, so I am drawing some feathers and sparkles as decoration. On the right page, I'm just doing a very simple 2024 title in this serif font like the key title. I use this font throughout the whole setup, and I feel like after this setup, I am very good at drawing this font freehand. And I think using a traveler size for a bullet journal is definitely a little trend that is going to be going on in 2024. And I've been seeing a lot of setup videos for this size, and it actually put me off from editing this video. This video was actually filmed quite a bit ago, and I've been wanting to upload it for weeks now, but then I got busy and I didn't have time to edit it. Then I saw more and more videos pop up of people setting up this size for 2024, and the more I saw, the more I kept putting off getting this video done from the fear of getting accused of copying others, even though I purchased this notebook back in like October, November with the intention of using it for 2024. I added a bit more sparkles, and we are done with this grid spacing and cover spread, and let's move on to the future log. I'm starting with writing the future log title with the same serif font, and I actually struggle with how to format the future log for this setup because this size is new to me and I couldn't work out a way to divide the page for each of the months, but I eventually got there in the end. In the corner here, I'm adding another feather and more sparkles. I do consider myself quite new to YouTube, and my channel is really small. I do tell myself that other people's opinion do not matter, but they can get to you. I am very fortunate to get such lovely and supportive comments under my videos. Your guys' comments like brighten up my days every single time I read them. It puts such a smile on my face, like it really does. But even so, when I see big YouTubers creating a video, I get scared of creating the same or similar type of things, because when you're doing similar things, it is so easy for people to assume that you are copying, and I almost feel like I have to be the first one to upload this content, so I rush to get my video finished and I get so stressed out. And I guess it's just something I have to learn to deal with over time and learn to work at my own pace. Anyways, let's talk about this spread, shall we? For the title of each month, I did a wiggly line alternating between the two different colors and stamped the first 3 letters of the months on top and a box for each section. And we are now writing in all the dates, which can kind of be repetitive, but I really do find it relaxing. I know that you can now get like date stamps and printables for things like these, but I really do like writing in my own dates. I really do find it relaxing, but I did mess up for May though, which I just covered up with a white gel pen and went over it again. And that's it for the future log. We are now going to move on to my period tracker. If you menstruate, having a period tracker is so useful. I've tried using an app on my phone before, but it never worked out for me. I would always forget to log it on the app, and all the unnecessary features kind of bother me, so I have found that having a tracker in my bullet journal where I can set it up exactly how I like it works best for me. We are starting with the color blobs, and this page won't have any titles, mainly because I couldn't find a good place for it, but that's okay because I know exactly what this page is because it's my bullet journal. At the top left of the page, I am doing a bit of decoration, but this time instead of a feather, I am drawing a moon. I don't know why my brain associates a woman's cycle with the moon. Maybe because they are roughly the same length, and maybe because I see the moon as something feminine. Then I am putting down the key title and writing in my keys. You can see what they are if you are curious, but I think if you are going to do a period tracker, think about what is most important to you and any patterns you would like to see on paper and come up with your keys that way. Below the keys, I did draw a feather and some more sparkles. To the side of that, I wrote the numbers 1 to 31 down the page and will be doing a dot to signify each day of the month. Since I started using a period tracker, I've noticed very interesting and useful patterns. Not just the obvious one like when my period comes, but when I ovulate and at what time in correlation to my cycle do I usually break out and get acne. And seeing that is really helpful because now that I know the pattern, I can tell if this pimple appeared because of my hormones or is it something else I need to get under control. It can also help you forecast that time of the month, which is incredibly useful when planning for trips. At the top of each column of dots, I wrote down the first letter of each month with the same font we have been doing for the entire setup. Looking back, I think I should have done them a little smaller, but that's okay. And we are done with my period tracker. The last thing I want to be setting up in this video is a place for me to write down things for jam and butter. This is going to be a Dutch door spread, which I have cut the page off camera because we do not need to see me struggling with a piece of paper. I got out some washi tape that matched the color of this setup and taped along the side of the pages. Again, I cut them down off camera because cutting washi tape is even more frustrating than cutting paper. After all the edges aligned with washi tape, I wrote the title for this page, which is just Jam and Butter. I really want to grow this channel and this community we have in 2024, and I need a place to write down notes, ideas, and my plans for each month. I definitely do not make a lot of money from YouTube right now, but I want to have a go at making jam and butter a source of income I can rely on. I really do enjoy creating videos, making art, and making stickers, and if I can make that my job, I will be the happiest girl in this world. I really have to push for this dream in 2024 since I will be graduating in 2024, hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, and I really do want to make it happen. After the title is done, I moved on to the right page where I will have 6 boxes for the first 6 months of the year. In these boxes, I will basically write the main plans I have for that month and the major things I need to get done. I am first starting with stamping down the first 3 letters of each month in a vertical alignment, fixing any stamping mistakes with a fine liner, and then drawing a box around that, alternating between the 2 colors of Tombow. And as always, all the supplies I use will be linked down below in the description. I don't know how long this notebook will last me, but I think I can make it last 6 months, so that's why I've been setting up everything up to June. You can see the way I'm making my lines throughout this setup. They are not fully connected and are broken up in some places. I've been obsessed with this type of line in the past few months and I've been using them for almost everything. They just add something to your spreads and kind of makes it look softer, and I love it. On the left page, I stamped on the words ideas and notes with my wooden stamps again and drawing the boxes for each word. And at the top here, I'm just adding some sparkles around the title for decoration. And with the sparkles drawn in, we are done with the first part of this Dutch door spread. The final thing we are setting up is a very simple expense tracker for jam and butter. I want to separate money coming in and out for jam and butter and from my own daily expenses so I can clearly see what I'm spending on it and how much I'm actually making, because right now they are all mixed up and I really don't like that. At the top, I just wrote expenses and I'm making 3 columns for the date, what it was, and the amount. If you are wondering why I'm only making a place to track expenses and not income, I already have a place to track my income in my pocket bullet journal. I thought about making an income tracker again in this notebook, but then I will have to write it down in both places, which I think will eventually get annoying and it will just add more work for me, so I decided against it and just have a tracker for expenses in this notebook. And here I'm doing something I don't usually do, which is using a ruler in my bullet journal. But for this, I wanted really nice, neat lines since I feel like that's better to write on. And that was all the spreads that I wanted to set up in this video, and here's a final flip through of all of them. I love how the theme of this beginning setup matches the cover of the notebook and how soft and calming all the colors are. If you would like to see monthly themes and setup I will be making in this notebook, then make sure to stick around. I would love to have you here. My Instagram and my shop jamandbutter.net is linked down below as always if you want to follow me or purchase any of my stickers. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Have a wonderful day or night. Bye!